The doorbell rang at 2 a.m., jolting me from a fitful sleep, and there stood Aurelia, rain-soaked and trembling, her eyes wild with desperation. "Rosalie, I can't pretend anymore," she whispered, stepping inside before I could protest, her words slicing through the silence like a knife. In that moment, as she collapsed into my arms, I knew our world, my best friend's world, our family's fragile peace, had just cracked irreparably. I pulled her into the living room, my heart pounding not just from the surprise but from the unspoken truth that had simmered between us for years. Aurelia was my best friend Marcus's little sister, the one I'd watched grow from an awkward teen into this fierce, unapologetic woman. We'd always been close, too close maybe, sharing secrets over late-night coffees, but tonight felt different, charged with something I couldn't name. "Why now?" I asked, handing her a towel, trying to keep my voice steady. She wiped her face, her pixie-cut blonde hair sticking out in defiant spikes, and looked at me with those piercing blue eyes that always seemed to see right through my defenses. "Because I told Mom and Dad about us, about how I feel. They flipped out, Rosalie. Said it's wrong, that I'm confusing friendship for something else. Marcus doesn't know yet, but he'll hate me. Hate us." Her words hit like a punch. Us? There had never been an us. Not officially. But deep down I knew she was right. The stolen glances at family barbecues, the way my pulse quickened when she laughed at my jokes, the jealousy I'd felt when she dated that guy last year. It all pointed to this forbidden territory. I paced the room, my mind racing. What was I supposed to do? Comfort her? Push her away? My own family was conservative, church-going folks who believed love was strictly between a man and a woman. If this got out, I'd lose everything. My job at the community center, my place in the neighborhood, maybe even Marcus, who'd been like a brother since college. Aurelia sat on the couch, hugging her knees, her red leather jacket dripping onto the floor. "I drove straight here after the fight. Dad yelled about how I've always been the disappointment, how this would ruin our reputation in town. Mom just cried, saying she raised me better." Her voice cracked, and I felt a surge of protectiveness. But was it love? Or just loyalty twisted into something more? I sat beside her, our thighs brushing accidentally, sending a spark up my spine. "Aurelia, this is dangerous. Marcus would kill me if he thought If we... I trailed off, unable to say it. She turned to me, her hand finding mine. "But don't you feel it too? All these years pretending we're just friends. I can't keep lying to myself." The weight of her confession pressed on me. My inner voice screamed warnings. "Think about the consequences. You're 28, stable, finally out of that dead-end relationship with Alex. Why risk it all for something society labels as taboo?" But another part whispered, what if this is real? What if denying it means living a half-life? We talked until dawn, her head eventually resting on my shoulder. No kisses, no touches beyond comfort, but the air hummed with possibility and peril. As the sun rose, she didn't leave. Instead, she asked to stay, just for the day, to figure things out. I agreed, knowing it was the first step down a path that could destroy us both. By noon, my phone buzzed with Marcus's call. "Hey Rosalie, have you seen Aurelia? She stormed out last night after some blow-up with the parents." I froze, Aurelia watching me from the kitchen. Lie or tell the truth? The choice felt like a fork in the road, one leading to safety, the other to chaos. Yeah, she's here. Crashed on my couch after the rain. Half-truth, but it bought time. Marcus sighed in relief. "Good. Keep an eye on her. Family's a mess right now." Hanging up, I felt guilt twist in my gut. Betraying my best friend already, and we hadn't even crossed the line. Aurelia emerged, coffee in hand. "You didn't tell him?" I shook my head. "Not yet. But we have to." She nodded, but her eyes held doubt. The rest of the day blurred into confessions, her realizing her feelings in college, suppressing them for fear of judgment. My own confusion after breaking up with Alex, wondering why relationships with men always felt hollow. As evening fell, she suggested we go for a walk, clear our heads. In the park near my apartment, under the streetlights, she stopped and faced me. "Rosalie, if we do this, it'll cost us. Family, friends, maybe our sanity. Are you ready for that?" My mind flashed to my parents' disappointed faces, the whispers at work, the isolation. But looking at her vulnerable yet strong, I whispered, I think I am. That night she stayed again, sleeping on the couch while I tossed in bed, inner turmoil raging. What price was I willing to pay for authenticity? The question haunted me, setting the stage for the storm ahead. The next morning reality crashed in. Marcus showed up unannounced, pounding on the door. Aurelia! Open up! Panic surged. She bolted upright, eyes wide. I opened the door, trying to act casual. Hey man. She's just waking up. He pushed past, spotting her disheveled state. What the hell is going on? Mom said you confessed some crazy stuff last night. Aurelia stood tall, chin up. It's not crazy, Marcus. I'm in love with Rosalie. The room went silent. Marcus's face drained of color, then flushed red. What? Rosalie? My best friend. He turned to me, betrayal etched deep. Is this true? I swallowed hard, the moment of truth. Yes. Or. Think so. It's new. Lies again, but partial. He laughed bitterly. New? You've been hanging out forever. This is sick. You're like family. The argument exploded. Marcus accused me of taking advantage, Aurelia of being confused. She fired back. I'm not confused. This is who I am. He stormed out, slamming the door, vowing to tell our parents. Alone again, Aurelia broke down. See? This is the cost. I held her, my own tears falling. Inside, doubt gnawed. Was this worth fracturing bonds built over decades? In the days that followed, the fallout spread like wildfire. My phone lit up with texts from Marcus. How could you betray me like this? You're dead to me. Each one stabbed deeper, reminding me of our shared history. College parties, road trips, him being there when my dad died. Now all that trust evaporated in an instant. Aurelia moved in temporarily, her parents having kicked her out. Just until I find a place, she said, but we both knew it was more. Living together amplified everything. The stolen moments of joy, like cooking dinner and laughing over old stories, clashed with the constant anxiety. Every knock at the door made us jump, fearing confrontation. My inner world was a battlefield. Part of me thrilled at her presence, the way she hummed while working on her graphic design projects, her scent lingering in the air. But guilt overshadowed it. Was I selfish for pursuing this? Society's voice echoed in my head. It's unnatural. Choose the easy path. Conform. Work became a refuge, or so I thought. At the community center where I coordinated youth programs, whispers started. A coworker, Sarah, pulled me aside. Heard about you and Marcus's sister. Is it true? Her tone dripped with judgment, eyes scanning me like I was a specimen. We're figuring things out, I muttered, but inside shame burned. How had word spread so fast? Marcus probably venting to mutual friends. That night, Aurelia and I argued for the first time. We need to go public, Rosalie. Hiding makes it seem wrong. She paced the kitchen, frustration boiling over. But rushing could make it worse, I countered. My parents don't know yet. Yours hate you already. Her eyes flashed. Hate me? Thanks for the reminder. Maybe this was a mistake. The words hung heavy. She stormed to the bedroom, slamming the door. Alone on the couch, I questioned everything. What if she was right? Denying our feelings to appease others, was that living or just surviving? But the fear of total isolation gripped me. My mom called later, oblivious. Haven't heard from Marcus lately. Everything okay? I lied again, the web tightening. The next day, Aurelia apologized, pulling me into a hug. I'm scared too. But I choose you. Her vulnerability cracked my defenses. We decided to tell my parents over dinner, a neutral ground. Driving there, my hand shook on the wheel. Aurelia squeezed my knee. Whatever happens, we're in this. At the table, the air thickened as I dropped the bomb. Mom, Dad. I'm in a relationship with Aurelia. Silence, then explosion. Dad's face reddened. A woman? That's not how we raised you. Mom teared up. Think about what people will say. The church, our friends. Aurelia defended us. Love isn't about fitting molds. It's real. But Dad cut her off. This is a phase. End it before it ruins your life. We left in tears, the rejection stinging like acid. Back home, Aurelia curled up, whispering, was it worth it? I held her, but doubt festered. The price was mounting. Lost friends, family rifts. Yet in her arms a spark of defiance ignited. Maybe authenticity demanded sacrifice. Weeks blurred into a tense routine. We avoided social gatherings, sticking to our bubble. But cracks appeared. Aurelia's job suffered. Clients pulled out after hearing rumors. Small-town bigotry, she spat, slamming her laptop. I nodded, but internally I blamed myself. If I'd resisted that night, none of this. Then came the betrayal. Marcus called a family intervention, inviting our parents without telling us. We walked into ambush at his house. "This has to stop," he declared. My mom pleaded. "Rosalie, choose right." Aurelia's dad accused me of corrupting her. The room erupted in accusations. Aurelia snapped. "You're all hypocrites. Pretending to love unconditionally." She grabbed my hand, pulling me out. In the car she sobbed. "I can't do this alone." That night, alone in thought, I weighed options. End it to restore peace? Or fight, risking more pain? The moral quandary tore at me. Was love worth the wreckage? Pressure built. Friends distanced themselves, invitations dried up. At work, my boss hinted at distractions affecting performance. Paranoia set in. Were we being watched? Judged? Aurelia suggested therapy to navigate this mess. Our first session unearthed deep wounds. Her childhood suppression, my fear of abandonment. The therapist nodded. Society's norms aren't absolute, but change demands courage. Emboldened, we attended a local LGBTQ support group. Hearing others' stories, similar rejections, eventual acceptance, sparked hope. But returning home, reality hit. A note from my landlord, complaints about disruptions. Subtle discrimination chipping away. One evening, Aurelia confessed. "Sometimes I wonder if we're fighting a losing battle." Her doubt mirrored mine. Yet we pushed on, each decision a gamble. The turning point loomed. Marcus texted. "Meet me." Alone. Heart racing, I agreed. At the coffee shop, he looked haggard. "I miss my friend. But this. It's tearing us apart." Tears welled. "I love her, Marcus. Can't you see that?" He sighed. Love? Or rebellion? The question lingered, forcing me to confront. Was this pure, or tainted by defiance? Leaving the coffee shop, Marcus's words echoed in my mind, planting seeds of uncertainty that grew like weeds. Was our relationship born from genuine affection, or a subconscious need to rebel against the suffocating expectations we'd both endured? I drove home in silence, replaying every moment with Aurelia, searching for authenticity amid the chaos. She greeted me with a kiss on the cheek, her eyes searching mine. How'd it go? I hesitated, then spilled it all. He thinks we're just rebelling. Aurelia's face hardened. And you? Do you believe him? The accusation stung, but I couldn't deny the flicker of doubt. I don't know. Everything happened so fast. That sparked our biggest fight yet. Voices raised, words weaponized. "If you're not sure, why drag me through this hell?" she yelled, tears streaming. "Because I thought it was real." I shot back. But inside, turmoil raged. What if Marcus was right? What if ending it now saved us both from deeper scars? We slept apart that night, the distance amplifying my inner monologue. Memories flooded. Aurelia at 18 confiding her first crush on a girl. Me dismissing it as a phase, too scared to acknowledge my own stirrings. Now, at 26 and 28, we were paying for years of denial. Society's script. Marry a man, have kids, fit in, had scripted our lives, and deviating felt like treason. The next morning, reconciliation came tentatively. "I'm committed," I said, pulling her close. "But we need to be honest about the costs." She nodded, but tension lingered, a shadow over our days. External pressures mounted. Aurelia's mom called, begging her to come home and get help. "Therapy to fix you," she implied. Aurelia hung up, shattered. "They think I'm broken." I comforted her, but rage boiled within me. How dare they reduce love to a disorder? At work, the axe fell. My boss called me in. "We've had complaints. Parents don't want their kids around. Influences. Subtle but clear." My orientation threatened the center's image. "Take time off," he suggested. Unpaid, of course. Walking out, humiliation burned. This was the price. Professional sabotage for personal truth. Home, I broke down to Aurelia. "Everything's crumbling." She held me, whispering, "We'll rebuild." But her voice wavered. That night she suggested a drastic step. Move to a bigger city, start fresh. Away from the judgment. The idea tempted, but fleeing felt like defeat. Abandon family? Roots? The moral dilemma gnawed. Sacrifice heritage for happiness? Debating it sparked more conflict. Running won't solve the inner stuff, I argued. She countered. Staying is masochism. The push-pull exhausted us, each choice laced with potential regret. Then a glimmer. An old friend, Lena, reached out. Openly gay, she'd faced similar battles. Over coffee, she shared. It gets better, but only if you fight for it. Her story inspired. Aurelia and I left motivated, vowing unity. But fate twisted. Aurelia's ex, Jake, reappeared, texting apologies, offering normalcy. She showed me deleting them, but I saw hesitation. What if he's right? Life would be easier. Her admission cracked my heart. Doubt resurfaced. Was she wavering? Confrontation ensued. Do you miss that life? I demanded. Sometimes, she admitted. No drama, no loss. The honesty hurt, forcing me to face my own wavers. We were both human, flawed, tempted by simplicity. Therapy helped unpack it. Attraction isn't choice, but commitment is, the counselor said. We recommitted, but scars deepened. Social isolation peaked at a neighborhood event we braved. Whisper stares. There they are, the lesbians. A former friend approached. You're brave, but think of the kids. Condescension dripped. Aurelia snapped back. Our love doesn't harm anyone. But inside I crumbled. Was visibility worth the venom? Home we debriefed. Society's not ready, she sighed. I agreed, but defiance stirred. Then we'll make them ready. The climax built slowly. Marcus organized another intervention, this time with a pastor. We attended, armored in resolve. The pastor preached redemption, urging repentance. Aurelia stood. Love isn't sin. Chaos erupted. Accusations flew. In the fray, my dad confessed. I don't understand, but I love you. Crack in the wall. But Marcus remained staunch. Choose, us or this. Walking out hand in hand, we chose us. But the victory felt pyrrhic, the emotional toll immense. Days later, Aurelia found a job offer in Seattle. Fresh start, she asked. I pondered. Uproot or endure? The decision loomed, heavy with implications. Inner conflict peaked. Nights I lay awake questioning. Was pursuing this selfish, destroying lives? Or heroic, paving paths for others? Ethics blurred. Right and wrong tangled in personal desire. Aurelia shared similar thoughts. What if we regret this? Vulnerability bound us closer, but uncertainty lingered. As we packed tentatively, a call from Marcus. Don't go. Let's talk. Hope flickered. Meeting him, tears flowed. I hate this, but you're family. Softening but conditional. The negotiation strained. Accept us, we demanded. He hesitated. I'm trying. Progress but slow. In that limbo we navigated, each day a test of resolve. The move to Seattle hung in the balance, a symbol of our crossroads. Escape the familiar cage or fight within it. Marcus's tentative olive branch complicated things. Did we owe it to family to stay and mend? Aurelia paced our apartment, weighing pros and cons. Seattle means freedom, but leaving feels like abandoning them to their ignorance. I nodded, my mind a whirlwind. Internally I battled. Loyalty to blood versus loyalty to self. Society preached family first, but at what cost to sanity? The moral tightrope wobbled, each step risking a fall. We decided to delay, giving reconciliation a shot. Weekly dinners with parents, awkward, tense affairs. My mom tried small talk, avoiding the elephant. Dad grumbled about lifestyles. Aurelia's folks were colder, her mom clutching a Bible like a shield. One dinner exploded. Aurelia challenged. Why can't you accept me? Her dad retorted. Because it's wrong. Scriptures say. Debate raged, ending in stalemate. Driving home, exhaustion hit. Is change possible? She whispered. I had no answer, doubt eroding my conviction. Work woes persisted. Back at the center part-time, I faced microaggressions. Be discreet. It grated, fueling resentment. Was conformity the price of employment? Ethics clashed. Personal integrity versus practical survival. Aurelia's career rebounded slightly, but stress manifested in migraines. "This fight's killing me," she confessed. Seeing her suffer twisted my gut. Was I worth it? Self-doubt surged. Maybe letting go spares her. Temptation struck when an old flame contacted me. "Sarah from college, straight safe. Miss our talks," she texted. Harmless, but it stirred what-ifs. A life without scrutiny. I deleted it, guilt-ridden. Confessing to Aurelia, she forgave, but trust frayed. Our relationship strained under the weight. Arguments over trivialities masked deeper fears. "You're pulling away," she accused. "Because I'm terrified." I admitted. Vulnerability bridged gaps, but temporarily. Support group became lifeline. Stories of triumph and tragedy inspired. One woman shared losing everything then rebuilding. "The pain shapes you." Resonated deeply. But reality intruded. A community petition circulated against promoting alternative lifestyles at my work. Anonymous but suspicious. Paranoia peaked. Who betrayed us? Confronting Marcus, he denied. But people talk. His ambiguity hurt. Was he ally or foe? The breaking point neared. Aurelia received a threatening email. "Freaks like you don't belong." Anonymous but chilling. Police dismissed it as prank. Fear gripped us. Physical danger now? We barricaded emotionally, clinging tighter. But inner voices screamed, "Run. Fight. Surrender." Deciding to push back, we organized a local awareness event. "Share our story," Aurelia suggested. Risky exposing us further. Debating ethics. Publicity for change or selfish spotlight. The event drew crowds, supporters and protesters. Speaking, hearts pounding. Love isn't choice. Acceptance is. Cheers mixed with booze. Empowering yet draining. Post-event backlash. Vandalized car. "Go away" scrawled. Terror set in. "Is this our life now?" Aurelia cried. Crisis forced choices. "Seattle," I said. She agreed. Packing mixed emotions. Excitement for new beginnings, sorrow for losses. Family reacted predictably. Parents pleaded stay. Marcus accused fleeing. "Face it like adults." His words stung. Were we cowards? Farewell dinner tense. Tears, hugs, promises to visit. Dad whispered. "Be happy." Mom added. "Pray for you." Aurelia's folks absent, a glaring wound. Driving away, reflection hit. The road ahead uncertain but chosen. Inner peace flickered amid regret. In Seattle, fresh air breathed hope. New jobs, accepting community. But scars remained. Missed calls from home, lingering guilt. Aurelia thrived, designing for progressive firms. I volunteered at LGBTQ centers, channeling pain into purpose. Yet challenges persisted. Distance strained family ties. Marcus visited once, awkward but thawing. "I see you're happy." Admission, hard won. Inner growth bloomed. Therapy continued, unpacking traumas. "You've paid dearly," counselor noted. True lost friends, careers disrupted, psyches battered. But gains? Authenticity, profound love. Was the trade fair? Question haunted. Social integration eased. New friends, no judgments. Pride events celebrated, contrasting past shadows. Still echoes of conflict. A call from home, dad ill. Rush back. Duty pulled. Returning, confrontations renewed. Bedside, he whispered. "Sorry for not understanding sooner." Forgiveness flowed, healing cracks. Aurelia by my side, strength embodied. Marcus softened further. Maybe I was wrong. Back in Seattle, reflection deepened. The journey's toll. Betrayals endured, choices debated. Settling into Seattle life brought a fragile calm, but the undercurrents of our past decisions rippled constantly, reminding us that peace was hard-earned and easily disrupted. Aurelia and I built routines. Morning runs along the waterfront, evenings debating books, but beneath it, the weight of what we'd sacrificed lingered like an unhealed bruise. Family calls became ritualistic checkpoints. Progress reports on acceptance, subtle probes into our lifestyle. One evening, as rain pattered against the window, Aurelia turned to me with a vulnerability I hadn't seen since the early days. "Do you ever regret it? Leaving everything behind?" Her question pierced, forcing me to confront the quiet doubts that surfaced in solitary moments. "Sometimes," I admitted, staring at the ceiling. but regret more if we'd stayed and withered. She nodded, but her eyes held shadows, mirroring my own internal debates. Had we chosen self-preservation over familial duty? Or was it the only path to survival? Work provided distraction. At the new LGBTQ Advocacy Center, I coordinated events, channeling our story into workshops on navigating societal rejection. Participants shared horrors, disownments, violence, making our struggles feel universal yet uniquely painful. Aurelia's designs for campaigns went viral, her art a defiant shout against bigotry. Success tasted bittersweet, built on the rubble of our old lives. Yet, the moral quandaries persisted. A letter from my mom arrived, pleading for a visit. "We miss you. Things are changing." Skepticism warred with hope. Change? Or manipulation? Aurelia urged caution. They hurt us deeply. But guilt gnawed. Abandoning elders in their evolution, was that ethical? We flew back for Thanksgiving, a test of waters. The table buzzed with forced normalcy. Marcus cracked jokes, avoiding depths. Dad, Freilier post-illness, pulled me aside. "I've been reading, talking to the pastor. Maybe I was wrong." Tears welled, progress but incomplete. Aurelia's parents thawed slightly, offering stiff hugs. No apologies, though. Dinner devolved when politics arose. "Society's going downhill," her dad muttered. Aurelia challenged. "Because of love like ours?" Tension spiked, old wounds reopening. We left early, the visit a mixed bag. Steps forward but miles to go. Back in Seattle, reflection intensified. Had our defiance sparked change, or merely widened divides? Inner voices clashed. Hero or instigator? A crisis hit when Aurelia's old friend leaked private photos online. Not explicit, but intimate enough to fuel trolls. Comments flooded. "Disgusting. Attention seekers. The invasion shattered our sanctuary. Why can't they leave us alone?" she sobbed. I held her, rage boiling. Society's underbelly exposed, hate masquerading as morality. Reporting it, we faced indifference. Free speech. Frustration mounted. Was visibility a double-edged sword? Therapy delved deeper. "You've both paid immensely," the counselor observed. "Question is, would you pay again?" Aurelia whispered. "Yes." I echoed, but with reservation. The costs. Fractured bonds, mental health strained, identities weaponized. Healing came gradually. Pride Month we marched surrounded by allies. Empowerment surged, countering isolation. Family bridges mended slowly. Marcus visited Seattle admitting, "I was scared of losing you both." Vulnerability bridged gaps. "Forgive me." Tears sealed reconciliation. Aurelia's parents followed. Awkward but earnest. "We're trying." Apologies trickled, acceptance budding. In quiet moments I pondered the journey's arc. From shock to exile to tentative peace. Each decision a gamble, outcomes debated. As years passed, the story compressed time but emotions stretched eternal. We married quietly. Rings symbolizing hard-won commitment. Families attended, a testament to change. But shadows remained. Society evolved unevenly. Rights gained, backlashes fierce. Our story one thread in a tapestry of struggle. Looking back, the initial knock at the door unleashed a torrent. Confrontations, betrayals, awakenings. We emerged scarred but stronger, questioning always the path taken. In the end, as we sat watching the sunset over Puget Sound, hand in hand, the ultimate query lingered, sparking endless debate. Was sacrificing everything for love the right choice, or a profound mistake?